everybody! So coming to you this week, I have officially dropped below 50 days left here in Japan, not including the fact that I am going to be rescheduling my flight. So this week, kind of in honor of my limited time left, I wanted to once again give you an update, but this week focus a little bit more on like how language has been for me. So one of the first things I had to get used to and learn how to do when I came here was how to speak in easy English, which means using very, very basic verbs. Like instead of saying I'm going to walk somewhere, I'm going to run somewhere, I'm just going to go. So things like that, because it helps other people understand better what I'm trying to say, which makes communication all around easier. And also, the converse side of that is, when I'm speaking Japanese, I can only use very, very basic verbs. So my vocabulary has been like flatline basic lately, and it's interesting. Like the people I work with, their vocabulary is not necessarily upping, but mine is. Like I'm trying to learn new verbs and new nouns every day. I was telling my dad earlier today, and I didn't realize it until I actually put it in writing. I learn about 30 new words a week, like actual spoken word, plus about 16 kanji on top of whatever I naturally learn just speaking with people that week. So like I learn a huge amount every week, and it's completely insane. Another thing that I have had to deal with during my time here is the Oracle Google Translate, which everyone uses. I have had to use it on occasion dealing with Japanese people trying to help me, which is fine. We figured it out, but Google Translate is awful, you guys. It does work a lot better going from Japanese to English than it does from English to Japanese. Whatever program Google Translate uses, it does not understand syntactically how Japanese works. So when I get something from someone in Japanese, it's like in a weird order, and some words are weird, and I don't know. It half works. Usually I can understand what is trying to be said, but for the most part, meh. But I feel like I've talked about that a little bit before, the whole police fighting deal, but I do deal with that a lot. But it does work for the most part for like singular words, and singular words and like full thoughts, like nowhere in between. And then lastly, and then this is a mix between my Japanese class as well as my linguistics classes. I've been picking apart both Japanese and English. Japanese is a very spatially based language, which makes it very hard to translate literally back and forth. It doesn't trip me up too much. It's just because of the spatialness, I find myself picking apart sentences a lot. Like, why is it in this order? What in this sentence correlates with what in this sentence? Like, how do words and sentences and thoughts and ideas and concepts, how do they all fit together? Which I did in English, but now that I have this outside perspective from which to look at English, it's so much worse. So I spend so much time when I'm walking around just like mulling over language differences in my head. It's great. I don't mind, but it can give me a headache sometimes. One thing I forgot to touch on my last video, moving out of the language bit, is I went to a PTX concert, y'all. Like, I made it to the Pentatonics concert in Fukuoka. I went by myself. I left right after my last class, caught a bus to Fukuoka, went to the got a taxi to the concert venue, walked back to the station from the concert, and then got like the very last bus all the way back. I got back here in Nagasaki at like 2 a.m. or something like that. But it was so unbelievably worth it, and I cannot believe I forgot to talk about that in my last video. Pentatonics is amazing, and there's nothing in the world like traveling halfway across the globe to go see your favorite artist. But I'm very grateful that I was able to go, especially since Avi has announced that he is leaving the group. I hadn't intended to go until he announced that, and then I like booked my tickets the next day. Meh. Another thing that I did not share with you all last time is this wonderful little contraption that I found here in Japan. For those of you who may be a little bit younger, this is a Nintendo SP, and it is one of the originals. It's like the third one, I think, to come out. It was like the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Advance Color, maybe, if you want to include that, and then like this one. So it was one of the original ones. I found this on sale because like stuff like this is really easy to get over here. Like you can find Genesis and 64 like you're buying chocolate at a grocery store if you know where to look. So I found this. It was 12 bucks. I bought it because I'm pretty sure I still have some games at home. This one is not region locked, so I can still play those games. I got some really old games. The one I have in here right now is Naruto. It is in Japanese, so another reason to continue learning Japanese. And then, on top of that, I got another Naruto, and then these are all Pokemon games, because Pokemon is amazing, and because some of these are actually worth quite a bit of money in the States, but they're mine, so there. Another thing I have done lately is I finally made it up Mount Inasa, which is a famous tourist place here in Nagasaki. It's a beautiful night view. It's rated like in the top 3 in the world or something, and it's a city from the top of the mountain. Like, it's pretty, it really is. I guess it's not really my thing to rate views from the top of mountains, but to each their own. I did finally make it up there. You take a cable car from the bottom, like across the river, up to the observation tower, and it's literally like a glass box, and it's terrifying because they pack it so full, and it lurches, and I didn't like it. But it was pretty to fly through the sky. Yeah, that's about it. Like, you go up, you stand on some towers, and there are signs showing you what you're looking at, and it's bright, because Nagasaki's pretty big. So yeah, it's the mountain. I also had midterms this past week and a half-ish. Kanji midterm did not go so well, because kanji is hard. Kanji wa muzukashi desu. Very. Totemo muzukashi desu. But it didn't go bad either. Like, some of the people in our class didn't do so well. The other ones went fine. For my Japanese course, I had an oral as well as a written exam, and they both went fine. Like, I was really, really nervous for the oral exam, and I walked in, I breezed through it, and then I ended up having a conversation with Teppei sensei about window shopping, because I didn't know how to say window shopping in Japanese, and he asked me what I bought at Don Quixote, and I didn't. But yeah, that went pretty easy. It was easier than we all expected it to be. The written exam wasn't too bad. I know I missed a few things, like, in retrospect. I hope they give partial credit, because we would all do so much better if they gave partial credit. Also, this past week, like 2 days ago, we had our departure meeting. So, like, all the Jason students got together in one room, and we talked about, like, plans to make and how to get home and services available to us, like shipping our baggage ahead of time, that kind of thing. And we were all like, I don't want to leave Japan yet. Like, it felt real being in that meeting, and we were all just like, no, you can't do this. You can't kick us out like this. But it is coming. So me and my friend group have started talking about, like, hotel. We're all gonna hang in Fukuoka for about 2 days before we have to go home. I think 4 or 5 of us are all going to be going to the airport at about the same time, which is wonderful. It's going to be really, really sad to say goodbye. Like, I don't know. Being a small group that can speak English in a foreign country, we all just kind of bonded. Especially over the course of just this past month, we have made more connections with each other than, like, the entire time before that. Because we all just, like, we figured it out, we got in the flow of things, and then, like, the friendships started happening. So, like, we all had our people before then, and then now we're, like, a tight-knit group, which is really great. And then speaking of my friend group, yesterday we all decided to go karaokeing, because we're in Japan and why not karaoke. It was really cool. all the karaoke places look like kind of sketchy. Like some stuff in Japan just looks kind of sketchy. Like here it's not weird to have a store on top of a store on top of a store, and it just looks like a regular building. Like there was a bank, and then on top of the bank was a neurosurgery clinic, and we were like, what? But like it's not weird here. Like you go up weird, narrow, rickety staircases and it's perfectly fine. Like that's just how stores are because of the space issue. Anyway, I digress. We went karaokeing. It was up this weird winding staircase behind this other thing, and it was perfectly fine. Having a conversation with the guy was very, very difficult. Asking a question in Japanese is way, way, way easier than understanding the answer. But we got it figured out. It cost us about $8, a little bit more than $8 a person to go for 4 hours. And we were still like putting songs in at the end of the 4 hours. Like it really did fly. I did not expect to be there the entire time. But it was fun. I can't sing, so karaokeing was great. But they could sing, so it was nice to hear my friends sing some of my favorite songs. But I don't know. Maybe we'll go again, maybe we won't. There's still so much to do in Nagasaki. Like, a month ago I was like, yeah, I've done pretty much what I can do here, and now I'm like finding more stuff, and it's like there's still so much I haven't done, and it's just like blowing my mind how much there is still to do, and like comparing to how much I've already done, it's like it never ends. The adventure never ends here. There's always something new. There's always a new road to go down, and I swear to you, there's new stores every time too. Like things just flow and rotate, and like Coco Walk has a new display every week or two. Like this week's display, because I was down there today, was golfing. They had like this whole thing set up for kids to actually golf, and if you got some shots and like you hit the little bell, you got a snack, and it was for Father's Day, I think, and they had like a bunch of golf clubs and stuff out. But I don't know, like time is really going. I'm really gonna miss Japan. But it's like, okay, what can we fit in this last bit? This weekend, God willing, myself and a friend are going to Kyoto for the weekend, and we're gonna see as much as we can while we're there. We're probably gonna walk a lot. I'm probably gonna have blisters, so it's gonna be great. Bunch of historical stuff to do down there, but really we're just gonna do whatever we can walking because we're both big walkers, so no big deal there. And then we'll come back like late Sunday night or Sunday afternoon-ish, and then boom, right back into school. So every weekend, like, we try and do something out of the ordinary. I know the weekend after July 15th, we're doing another beach trip. So like our weekends are filling up, and we're like, no, we still have more things to do. Like, where can we fit things? Like right now, in my head, it's like, okay, when during the week can I start doing things? It's like there's not enough time. And then there's that, plus like thoughts of finals are starting to drift in. It's like, I have a kanji final. I have a quiz this Thursday that I'm not prepared for, so it's like, okay, I need to find time to do these things. And like slip academics in there somewhere too. It's like, why? But it's all worth it. Like it's stressful, and also like so much fun too. So that has been my adventures for this period of time. As always, if you have questions, email me, text me. Don't text me, I can't get text. Message me, whatever. Hit me up. I'm not here too much longer, so if anyone has like specific requests, like, you gotta start letting me know. One last thought, I'm gonna miss the sake. Like, sake is the most delicious alcohol I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it bad. Tyler says I can get it in the US, so I'm gonna have to look. But there's no way it'll be as cheap as it is here. Like, $2 for a big bottle. Not happening. But anyway, love you guys, and catch you again soon. Bye. bonus moment, shout out to Dad for Father's Day. Love you. Miss you.